Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Kevin Zogschwert. I create all kinds of music videos and guitar lesson tutorials, demo reviews and gear reviews, audio and video production. If any of these things interest you, consider subscribing to the channel. In this video I want to talk about the new updates in Logic Pro for iPad 2.0, specifically the session players, the drummer session, the session bass player, and the session keyboard player. So I want to walk you through how to make some tracks using just these tools they came out with this week. Let's get started. Alright, here I am in Logic Pro 2.0 for iPad. I've opened a project already. I'm going to go ahead and start with a session player drummer. Let's select that. And this will auto-populate a drummer in pop rock style for us right here. If we touch the drum kit icon here, it'll give us options. We could select a different type of drummer if we want an electronic drummer, percussionist. There's the bass player, keyboard player option as well, but I'm going to stick with the drums for starters. And maybe a retro rock, hard rock, punk rock, any of these things would be good, but I think I'm going to stick with pop rock. But you could select songwriter. There's a whole bunch of those if you like that, alternative and R&B. And also they have the electronic kit available up above as well if you prefer that. But let's check this out, what we've got here. And next to that, you've got the complexity slider. That'll make it way more detailed and fills and things like that. Of course, the intensity, if you want to make that louder, imagine a drummer's, really going at it and he's playing heavy, hitting the drums harder, that would be that kind of thing. If you want him to chill out, bring down the intensity right out in the middle, something like that. All right, then over to the right here, we've got an option to select hi-hats, cymbals, or toms. And then when you touch this number next to that, it gives you different patterns to select from that instrument. So that's pretty nice. And of course below the same thing applies here for the bass drum and snare drum. You can select that number 5 and it'll give you different pattern options to select there. And one of the most interesting things about this is at the bottom, if it says follow rhythm of chords or track, and I like to use track. I don't have any other tracks on right now, so I'll show you this in a moment, but I could have that follow a bass line, for example, or a guitar part. All right, next over here you've got fill amount. That would be like the amount of fills that they include in the 8 measures here. And then fill complexity, of course, that'll make it more detailed or faster and that kind of thing. And then a swing rhythm, right, if you want that blues style swing rhythm. And then you can also change that to different types of notes there, 8th notes and 16th notes. Okay, so let's see what this sounds like after I've just touched everything without even considering the sound of this. Okay, it's kind of interesting. Let me see, I want to bring down the complexity. I think I'll bring up the intensity. And I don't like the tom option. I want to get rid of that. I want to have maybe hi-hats for that. And let's bring down the fills a little bit and the complexity of the fills too. Let's see what that sounds like. Alright, that's fine for starters. I'm going to stick with that for now and move on to the next track. So to make another track, up where it says, up at the top left here, there's a plus symbol. I'm going to tap that plus symbol, and then I'm going to come into the session player again, but this time I'm going to select the little arrows here and add a bass player. Okay, I'll select that and then touch that again, and it auto-populated a bass player for me. Now up at the top you'll see I'm in 4/4 in the key of A minor. So it's going to automatically have the bass player in that key. So if you wanted a different key, that would be the way to change it, is touch that at the top. And I'll just show you that real quick here. If I touch that there, you've got all your key options right here at the bottom of that. So you could select that, but I'm going to stick with A minor to keep this simple today. And the same things apply if we touch this icon of the bass guitar. It gives us options to select different styles, pop rock, retro rock, pop songwriter, and so on, right? So let's see what I want to try. I think well, I guess I'll stay within the same genre on these if it'll let me. Okay, now I've got my pop rock bass player selected, and the complexity and intensity is all the same there, right? Up here on this one, you can select that to give you different patterns, or follow maybe a guitar part or a guitar track if I had that on. You can follow the drummer, so that's interesting. I could do a reverse scenario there. The drums are already in place. Maybe I want to have the bass follow what the drums are already activated on, so let's try that. Melody, we can select some notes, root only, or more notes, octaves, none, some, and more, phrasing, long, short, medium. Okay, that's interesting. Fill amount and complexity, that's basically the same as the drummer, right? Swing and so on. The lowest note here is interesting. If you were playing a guitar in a drop tuning, for example, you might want to lower that down to something, yeah, D1, you see. So you might want to lower that down to D, for you could have a low D string to match up with the guitar parts. So let's see what this sounds like here now with the bass. Pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool, right? I like that. So that's neat. Let's go ahead and add in. Let's add in another. Up at the top left, let's push plus again here, and let's add in another session player, and let's make it the keyboard player this time. Okay, same things apply. Keyboard player freely. Broken chords, block chords, arpeggiated, or a simple pad. Let's try freely and see how that sounds. And these things are the same, complexity, intensity. This is interesting. It has right hand and left hand. Wow, okay, cool. So you can select if you don't want one of those hands for some reason. I'm not sure why you would want to do that. I'll have to think about that creatively. But then we've got follow chord rhythm on this here. We could select a pattern, or we could select a track. And I'm going to select the drum track again. Or maybe I should select the bass. Well, let's try it with the, let's have it follow the bass. Let's see what happens when we have the piano follow the bass guitar. Look at this right hand, left hand little slider deal here. What's that? Okay, that's interesting. It puts these hands further apart on the piano, and it gives you a different kind of vibe. So if you wanted it to have like a low octave on the left hand, maybe high notes on the right hand, let's just see what that sounds like to experiment here. Left hand voicing and right hand voicing, full chord, root only on the left hand, simple style on the left hand, steady eighths. Wow, so many options on this keyboard. Very cool. Fill amount, complexity, and so on, swing rhythm, etc. Let's see what this sounds like at this point here. Pretty interesting, really, right? Let's make a couple of adjustments to this on the piano, though. Let's simplify it just a tad, and let's bring down the intensity, too. I think it's too heavy-handed. I want to bring down the right hand a touch. It's a little bit too high for my tastes. And since we have a bass guitar going, let's bring up the left hand, too, to more mid-range. And let's make the movement of the right hand small range. Or let's see what the other options are here. Oh, full chord. What I select, fixed inversion, full chord, 2 voice, 4 voice, 4 plus voice. Let's just try full chord, and I like that small. Okay, let's see what that sounds like there. Great. Okay. Take a look at this. Up above here, where this, what do you call this, the track header moves around, it shows these chords right there as well. A minor, E minor, D minor, C, A minor, E minor, D minor, C. Isn't that awesome? I don't think that that's shown previous versions, even in GarageBand. I don't think it's had that. So that's really great because you can see your chord changes right there if you're trying to play a guitar solo over this, right? That's awesome. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added an audio 1 track at the bottom of this, you'll see there, and I'm going to go ahead and add a guitar solo over top of this. Let's see how it goes. So I did 3 takes on that, and in the first couple of takes I didn't really think about these chord headers that they've added, which is really nice. So around the 3rd take I realized, oh, I can watch these chord headers and try and match the notes a little bit to these chord changes without doing it by ear. So what a nice addition to Logic Pro. I really like this, and I hope you find some creative ways to use this yourself. But let's take a listen at what I've got here. I also, have those 3 takes, so you can tap that and look at those 3 takes. I think I can unpack them and spread them out. Look at that. Yeah, so if you click unpack, now I've got 3 takes that I can go through and see which ones I like better. I feel like take 3 was the best. Oh, it dropped it up here. I see how they did this in reverse order. So take 3 I feel like was the best. Let's take a listen to that. I'll bring the audio up here about there. Let's see. Let's compare that to take 1. Alright, that was pretty cool too, actually, wasn't it? Let's check out this final take and let me know in the comments below which take you liked best. Alright, great. So I think for me, take 3 is probably the one to go with on this, but let me know what you think. So there you have it. That's the new session stuff in Logic Pro 2.0. They have a percussion section as well, but I didn't download that. It doesn't really match with my songwriting style. I didn't think I would use it much, and since it was like 3 gigabytes, I chose not to download that one, but it seems cool. So there you go. And that's it. If you enjoyed this walkthrough on Logic Pro 2.0, give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel. And check out this video right here. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.